Okay, so you wanted another session of tips and tricks. So I put a few more together. I've got a list here of about 25 or so. So we'll work through them and see what we can do. First of all, version control. Sometimes working on a project, especially big projects like this one, you want to save several versions. And the way I do this is file save as. Okay, so see, this is called Ansel Chalice blend. What I should do is call this chalice .1 dot and 1.0. Okay, I'll save as. Alright, so let's say I wanted to turn this red or something. Let's go to shading. Let's pick the right material. And let's delete that one. Change that to red. Okay, so let's go back to layout. I've now got this red pillow. File, save as. I've got Chalice version 1.0 blend. If I press the plus button here, it'll increase the version number. So I could save that as my second version, and I could keep doing that for every version I create. Okay, so I'm just going to put that down to Chalice 1.1 and save as. Okay, so I've got two versions two versions saved there, and just with clicking that plus button or minus, I can change the version number quite easily without having to keep track what was the last one and looking that up. I know I can just increase the version number and away I go. Okay, next is quickly copy paste. So let me just duplicate this cube. Let me scale it up a bit so when we look at the numbers here, they are different from this one. That's the default cube. If I wanted to copy paste some stuff, say I wanted to copy paste the X dimension, I can hover over the X dimension, Control C to copy, create this one, Control V, hover over, Control V to paste it, and I could paste that dimension or that figure wherever I want. I don't have to select it and kind of select it and then highlight and copy. I can just hover over. This will also work on other things. So for example, let's add a material to this, and let's go to shading. Okay, if I was to turn that red, let's add a new material to this one. Okay, so this red one, I could hover over, Control C, select the next one, hover over, Control V to paste that. So it'll work with anything where we got numbers or colours or things like that. Control C and Control V. Let me just turn on the screencast keys. So we got them for future. Alright, so hover over, well, let's change this for example. Okay, so I could hover over, Control C, come to this one, hover over, Control V, copy and paste in colours and numbers and things like that. Okay, let's start a new scene here, and let's add a cube. Let's just scale it up a little bit and edit it and let us subdivide Need to turn these on again. Okay. I want to subdivide it some more, so let me select all, right click, subdivide. Let's just add a couple more cuts here. Right, if I wanted to, how to explain this? If I wanted to select only certain faces, but I wanted to repeat that pattern, so let's say I wanted to, let's go to face select, number 3, select that face and that face, and I wanted to repeat selecting every other face. Okay, so select first face, shift select the second face, and then control shift numpad plus will select the next face and the next and the next and the next. I can keep doing this all the way around and select things that way. Okay, this will why would I want to do this? Probably, you know, if I was making something, I don't know, sci-fi-ish or something. Let me extrude, not on a Z, shift Z. So I can do kind of like that action all together, doing whatever I need to do. Okay, let's go backwards a little bit. Let me subdivide that a few times. Alright, we know a cube's already got a UV. And last week we looked at control click. So if I press the first one, control click on the next one, it'll select everything in between. Control click on the next one, it will select the shortest path. Okay, if I was to do this in edge mode, okay, so I've got these clicks, so let me control click up here. Well, let's start again. Select this one, control click down here, control click over here. Okay, if for some reason I wanted to mark this as a seam, you know, for unwrapping, once I've got my selection made, and you don't have to do it with control click, you can do it manually however you want to do it, but a quick way to do it, once I've got my selection made, in the operator panel, with the control click is pick shortest path. Okay, if I turn the edge tag from select to tag seam, it marks it as a seam. I didn't mark it all, so let me, that was shift click, control click down here, control click to there, and control click to there. You can see as I'm going around it's marking seams. So if I was to go to the edge menu, and we'll select all, control leave the edge menu and clear seams. Okay, so if I wanted to mark seams, start from scratch, I could control click over here, and it's already set to tag seam. I could control click down here, control click over here. I could pick this one, go over the top edge. I could control click there, control click there, control click there. These are all marked as a seam. Now if I go into the UV editing, if I select all and unwrap, it'll unwrap with those seams that I marked. So yeah, using the control click to pick the shortest path, you can change it. Let's bring this up again, control click. You can change it, pick shortest path to tag seam, or bevel or crease, or tag sharp, whatever you need. The default is select, but we can change that to tag seam to mark seams as we're selecting. So while we're on this shortest path method, Let's go to face mode here. Sometimes we want to pick out a block of geometry to delete it, extrude it, whatever. So if we use this shortest path method again, so say I wanted a kind of a square out the middle of this, I could select the first one, control click the opposite corner, and if I use the fill region, it creates that whole square, it selects that whole square, so I could then delete that if I needed to, or extrude it on the Y, as I needed to, whatever I like. So yeah, using it with the face mode, and let's try this again. So control click and fill region, we can quickly select that whole block of vertices. Okay, let's do some stuff with curves here. Let's add a Bezier curve. Let me scale this up a little. We know before that we can use a bevel object. Let's go into edit mode for a minute. Under geometry, we can use a bevel object to shape this curve. We can also do it just with a circle right out of the options here, without needing a bevel object. And we know that we could convert this curve to a mesh. So if I went into object mode and we went object convert to, but if we were to right click, there is an option there, convert to mesh, which does it straight away. Okay, so let me control Z backwards, so, and do this bevel again. So let's add a bevel again. Let's add something like this. We can taper this. If we select this end one, and I believe it's Alt S, we can taper one end. Okay, so, and then we should be able to, let's go to a top view here and let's select all, let's rotate, and let me grab this point, let's grab it down here, let's grab this one over here, kind of make shapes as we need them. There's a horn straight away. So go to object mode, right click, convert to mesh. We've got a nice horn here with all the geometry in a couple of seconds, or whatever other type of shape you need to use. Another way to do the same thing, I've just gone back to a curve here with the bevel parameters. If we go into object mode, which we got there, it's still a curve, but if we were to do the control A, the apply, we also have an option here, visual geometry to mesh. Okay, and that converts it to a mesh. So if I control Z backwards and we edit that, we see it's still a curve. We can kind of shape it how we want. Okay, so in object mode, control A, visual geometry to mesh, will convert that curve with a bevel to a mesh. Very, very simply. It's a lot easier than having to come up to the object, convert to, it's a simple key click. Okay, let me delete this. Let me add another curve, Shift A, let's add a Bezier. Let's check it's aligned to the world, so it'll be flat. That's fine. Let me scale this. Okay, so if we were to add a bevel object, let's just add a mesh plane. Let's grab this over here. Let's edit it. Let's go to face mode, let me right click and delete faces, which is not what I wanted to do. X only faces, because I wanted to leave the geometry there. Okay, so object mode, this probably doesn't work. Control A here, no it doesn't. So right click won't work either, going from mesh to curve. So we'll have to do this in the object, convert to curve. Right, so I've got this curve I can use as a bevel object on this. So let me pick up that object. So we've got this bevel object. Probably want to scale this object down a bit. Right, and shade this flat. What I was going to, we want to shade this flat. Okay, let's edit this. What I wanted to show now is if we select one of the control points there. Okay, I select one of the control points. I've got to check my notes now because I can't remember. I think it's Control T. Well, we'll find out. Control T, I can rotate the endpoint. So let's turn it off. Let's shade that smooth, which it won't do in edit mode. Let's shade that smooth. I can rotate. Looks better shade flat actually. Rotate the object, rotate the point around to add a twist. So where might this be useful? Well, let's get rid of this plane for a minute. Let's edit this. Let's go to top view. Let's straighten this out. It's already been twisted and you can see the arrows twisted. Object mode. I've got a straight line there. Let's scale this on the X quite a bit, and then let's bevel with that plane object. So let's go into edit mode, Control T, got that right one selected, Control and T. I can then twist this into a barley twist or whatever I need. Or just a slight twist. And that's how we can kind of twist the control points of a curve.